let's be real, the job of a software engineer is changing, and it's changing fast. By 2026, it's going to look almost nothing like it does today, thanks to a huge wave of AI and totally new ways of working. So today, we're going to break down the key trends that are driving this massive shift, and more importantly, what it all means for you.
You've probably felt this yourself, right? So many engineering teams are caught in this exact trap. We've spent years adopting all these new copilots, platforms, and automations, and yeah, the speed is incredible. But that speed, it's brought new kinds of chaos. We've got tool sprawl, our cloud bills are getting kind of scary, and there's just this nagging feeling that quality is getting left behind in the dust.
So how do we get the speed without all the chaos? How do we get the best of both worlds? Well, the answer is in understanding a whole new set of tools, a new set of rules for using them safely, and honestly, a completely new definition of what it even means to be an engineer today. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about AI's role in all of this, because it's evolved like crazy. It's not just some simple little assistant anymore. It's become a true collaborator, a real partner in the whole process.
I mean, remember when GitHub Copilot came out and just blew our minds with simple line-by-line suggestions? That was just the starting line. Now we've got AI teammates like Cursor, which basically act like a pair programmer that understands the entire context of your project. And now we're even in the era of the full-on AI team. Engines like Windsurf that you can give a high-level goal to, and they just go, executing a whole complex plan on their own.
And to really get a sense of the scale we're talking about here, look at this number, 57 million. That is more lines of code than the entire Linux kernel. And these new AI platforms, they are generating that much code every single day. This isn't just a small productivity boost, people. This is a fundamental change in how code gets created.
But here's the trick, right? You have to know where to point this fire hose of code. AI is fantastic at all the repetitive, mechanical stuff, boilerplate code, basic CRUD functions for creating and updating data. But when you get to the really tricky stuff, the security-sensitive code, the performance-critical paths, the core architecture, you absolutely still need a human in the driver's seat. So, to use these incredibly powerful AI engines safely and at these crazy speeds, the industry is starting to standardize on a set of what we're calling guardrails. You can think of these as the essential safety systems and shared roads that stop all this speed from driving us right off a cliff.
First on the list is platform engineering. The idea here is simple. Instead of every single team reinventing the wheel and building their own CI/CD pipeline, an internal platform gives them standardized, pre-approved golden paths. This creates a really solid, consistent foundation so teams aren't wasting time on plumbing and can safely adopt new AI tools inside these well-defined boundaries.
Next up, supply chain security. We've all seen the horror stories in the news, right? Huge data breaches that happen because of one tiny vulnerable open source library. That's why it is so critical to have a clear inventory of every single component in your software. And that's exactly what a software bill of materials, or an SBOM, gives you. It's just knowing what's in the box. Then you have observability. Look, our systems are getting so complex and so distributed that we just can't afford to guess what's going on in production anymore. By standardizing on frameworks like OpenTelemetry, everyone gets a consistent, shared view into our systems. It breaks down those data silos and even lets AI help us diagnose problems.
And finally, there's FinOps. Because let's be honest, cloud and AI costs can spiral out of control. FinOps is all about bringing cost visibility right into the daily development workflow. This means cost becomes a top-tier concern, right up there with performance and security. No more end-of-the-month sticker shock.
Okay, so with AI handling all the grunt work and these new guardrails keeping us safe, what's left for us humans
This
to do?
video is for educational overview only. Viewers are encouraged to study the topic in detail and continue their academic learning alongside this video. Thanks.
For us humans to do? Well, it turns out our job is actually more important than ever. It's just different. The focus has completely shifted from the what, the act of writing code, to the why, the art of making smart decisions. Before, your value was in how much code you could produce. Now, your value is in your judgment, full stop. Speed doesn't come from how fast you can type anymore. It comes from the quality of your decisions.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? AI can handle the typing, it can generate mountains of code, no problem. But the critical thinking part, weighing the trade-offs, understanding the business context, assessing the risk, that is still the exclusive and very expensive domain of the human engineer. So what does success even look like now?
Well, it's having these deep mental models of how your systems actually work. It's architecture literacy, being able to defend trade-offs and simplify things, not just add more complexity. It's becoming a master at reviewing code, whether it was written by a human or an AI. And maybe, just maybe, the most important skill of all is taste and restraint, knowing when the right move is to not build something.
All right, so what does this all mean for your career, for the skills you need to be focusing on? Because the game is definitely changing, and the expectations are changing right along with it.
This idea, people call it the rising water effect, and it just captures this new reality perfectly. AI makes it way easier for anyone to produce something that kind of works. The floor has been raised, but at the same time, it is raising the ceiling for what we consider truly great engineering even faster. Just shipping code isn't good enough anymore.
And what this is doing is creating this huge split, this widening gap in the value of skills. All that shallow mechanical work, its value is plummeting because it's being automated away. Meanwhile, the demand for deep, system-level thinking, for architectural judgment, and for risk assessment is just exploding. That gap is getting wider every single day. So here's the bottom line. AI is making our field more honest. It's stripping away all the boilerplate, and it's exposing the real difference between just looking like you know what you're doing and having true, deep understanding. AI isn't replacing engineers. What it's really doing is removing all the places to hide. And that leaves every single one of us with a really important question to ask ourselves. Where will you stand?